Hey everyone, it's Tara. Welcome back to my channel, Tara Talks Books, where we talk everything bookish. So today I'm going to be doing a book haul, and it's been a few months since I've done a book haul because I was supposed to be doing a TBR takedown, which I am still trying to keep myself accountable, but I definitely am now. I need to read a lot more books off my shelves based off what I bought recently. It was Mother's Day. I got some gifts. I got some gifts for my birthday. So those kind of added up over time. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and share the books I got. So the first one I actually got is If the Duke Demands by Anna Harrington. And this is actually one I had already read, and then we did a reread for Tea and Biscuits with Tara and B Historical Romance Book Club that myself and B run. And I just love this one. It kind of starts off where it's like mistaken identity. They're at a masquerade ball, and she is trying to get the attention of somebody else, basically the male main character's brother, and she ends up sneaking into the room thinking it is the brother, and she just wants him to see her in a new light because she kind of just sees her as a family friend. And so she sneaks in, and lo and behold, it is actually the Duke, not the brother. And it goes from there. They kind of work together to find him a duchess and to finally get her noticed by the brother. But of course, things take a turn and they end up falling in love. I love this one so much. The next one I picked up is All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowles. So it's like a standalone romantic suspense small town. And so I definitely wanted to give Catherine Cowles a try. I have other of her books on my shelves, but I figured this might be a good way to kind of kick it off because it is a standalone. And then it has these beautiful sprayed edges, which are just stunning. So I did pick that one up. I also picked up Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. And this one, it's like a lady who has recently lost her husband, so she's dealing with some grief. She works at night, I believe, at an aquarium, and she kind of befriends an octopus. And so it has a little bit of, I would assume magical realism of some sort or fantasy, but it just sounds very lovely, and I wanted to read it. And then it has these beautiful sprayed edges, which are just so cute. So how could I not pick it up? The next one I have is Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone. I've read a couple of Cara Bastone's Audible originals, and I need to give her full-length novels a go. This one, I don't know much about, but I saw B over at Mama Needs to Read Romance interview Cara Bastone, and so this one intrigued me. So this one says, grieving the loss of her best friend, a young woman finds her life turned upside down when she meets a grumpy stranger who swears he can help her live again. So this one looks really cute, and I can't wait to get to it. The next one I have already read as well, and that one is Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. This was part of our Abby Jimenez read-along, and this was her most recently published book, so I did pick it up for that read-along. So Xavier is a vet, and Samantha brings this cat that she found in, and she's trying to save the cat. And they kind of get off on the wrong foot because of something that happens during that appointment. But he kind of admits eventually that he's wrong, and it kickstarts kind of this date that they go on. And they have this really interesting first date, and there's this good banter. However, Samantha is moving for a long amount of time. She's actually not sure how long, out of state to help her family. And they try and forget each other, but they can't. And so it goes from there, and they build this long distance relationship. I did enjoy it. It does have a lot of trigger warnings in this one. It deals with some grief. It deals with loss of a family member. It deals with a parent taking care of a parent who has dementia. So definitely check your trigger warnings for this one, but I did enjoy it overall. So the next one I bought, they were kind of a Mother's Day gift. My husband took me to the bookstore, and I picked out some books. So the first one I picked out was Arrogant Devil by R.S. Gray, and I don't know much about it. I just saw these sprayed edges, and I have read from R.S. Gray before, and I have enjoyed, or I enjoyed the book that I did read, and this one says a sexy rom-com, so I was just kind of like, okay, let's give it a go. But it does say witty banter and slow burn romance collide in this enemies to lovers. So I definitely want to give it a go. The next one I picked up for Mother's Day was Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. And this just looked like such a lovely addition. And it's got some deckled edges. But this one I picked up simply because I want to try a classic. And then Crystal over at Books Forever After really enjoyed this one. It's actually like one of her like recommendations, or it was one of her recommendations for the Ever After-a-thon for like governess. So I definitely wanted to try it and see if I enjoyed it as well. And the last one I picked up for Mother's Day was When in Rome by Sarah Adams. This one says, opposites certainly attract for a stranded pop star and a small town baker in this charming slice of romance. It just sounds so sweet and lovely, and I do enjoy a small town. And then B also said Sarah Adams is definitely an author I should try, so I want to go ahead and give her a go. So the next few books are actually, they're kind of like my gift to me for finishing out the school year. I went on a trip to Barnes & Noble. It's about 2 hours or so away from me. In fact, the closest bookstore is like an hour away. So like this was kind of a fun, unique day for me. But anyway, so I did pick up some books from that trip. And it's, like I said, it's kind of my gift to me for finishing out the school year. So the first one I did get was a novel love story by Ashley Poston. And this one I simply got because it was one of the ones I was missing. We are going to be doing the Ashley Poston read along. As the SUNY Scone Society, as we have coined ourselves, we did the Abby Jimenez read along, so now we're going to continue with the Ashley Poston read along. And this one, it says love is stranger than fiction. I don't know much about it, and honestly I kind of want to go in dark, but this one I believe is like Grumpy Sunshine, and then it has a little bit of magical realism in it, so I can't wait to get to it. And on that same trip, I actually picked up an author I wanted to try more of their backlist, simply because I really enjoyed one of the books that I read last year from them, and that one is The Key to My Heart by Leah Lewis. And this one, I believe it is the female main character has lost her husband. So it's kind of like a second chance at love, as well as like dealing with grief and getting her life back to some semblance of normal after this tragedy. And the next one I picked up, honestly, it's because they're like, do you want to pick up this book? It's half off. And I was like, okay. Also, Becky over at Beccie did say this one was a good one, so I figured I'd give it a go. But that one is Someone You Can Build a Nest In by John Wiswell. And I know this one is like Sapphic Monster. I want to say it says, Shi Shen has made a mistake, fatal to all monsters. She's fallen in love. So this one just seemed cute. It has some cute sprayed edges. And I wanted to give it a go. And then for my birthday, I did pick up a few books. Some are from a thrift store, and then some are just from like a regular bookstore that I went to for my birthday. So I'll start with the two that I picked up from the bookstore. And the first one is Devil in Spring by Lisa Kleypas. And this is simply because I did not have this one. And I know B over at Mama Needs to Read Romance and some other lovely booktubers are doing a Ravenelle's readathon. And so I needed this one because I had all the rest. So I picked this one up. So this one's the third one in the series, and it follows the Ravenelle family. And this one, it says, an eccentric wallflower, a cynical rake, a perilous plot. So that's really all I need to know, and I really enjoy Lisa Kleypas, so I feel like I'm probably going to enjoy it as well. So the other one I picked was Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and this one is because I have read from Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've read, I think, the majority of her books. There's a few more I do need to read, but I wanted to continue on. It is a historical fiction, and it is set in the 1980s, and we are calling that historical fiction now. Eek! And I don't know much about it. It just says an epic new novel set against the backdrop of the 1980s space shuttle program about the extraordinary lengths we go to live and love beyond our limits. So seems good. I can't wait to read it. I trust in Taylor Jenkins Reid, so I feel like this one will be a good one. So the first one I picked up from the thrift store or from the secondhand bookstore was by Sarah McLean, and that's The Day of the Duchess. This one does have a step back. So pretty. And this one I picked up because Crystal over at Books Forever After really enjoyed this one, and I wanted to give it a go and try some more Sarah McLean. The next one I picked up is Four Nights with the Duke by Eloisa James, and I do have quite a few Eloisa James on my shelf, but I haven't really tried any. I think maybe one or two, definitely a novella I know, and I think maybe another one. Anyways, this one does have a step back as well, and I just thought it was gorgeous. So this says, as a young girl, Amelia Gwendolyn Carrington told the annoying future Duke of Pendar that she would marry any man in the world before him. So years later, she is horrified to realize that she has nowhere else to turn. Evander Septimus Brodie has his own reasons for agreeing to Mia's audacious proposal, but there's one thing he won't give his inconvenient wife, himself. Instead, he offers Mia a devil's bargain. He will spend 4 nights a year with her, 4 nights and nothing more, and those only when she begs for them, which Mia will never do. Now, Vander faces the most crucial challenge of his life. He must seduce his own wife in order to win her heart. And no matter what it takes, this is the one battle he can't afford to lose. So this one seems very good. Next, I picked up One Fine Duke by Lenora Bell, and I just saw this cover, and I was like, that is stunning. And that really is why I picked it up. It doesn't have a step back, but I couldn't help. Look at that cover. Beautiful. So this one says, raised in the countryside by her overprotective uncle, Miss Mina Penny's dream of a triumphant London season is finally here. She determined her perfect match long ago, Rafi Bentley, the wickedest rake of them all. There's only one very large, very unyielding obstacle, Rafi's brother Andrew, the reclusive Duke of Thornton. This was supposed to be simple. Duke goes to London. Duke selects suitable bride. Love match, not a chance. But when Andrew meets Mina, she complicates everything. How can a lady armed with such beauty and brains fall for his irresponsible, degenerate of a brother? Andrew vows to save her from heartbreak and ruin, no matter the cost. But Mina is no damsel in distress. She's daring, intuitive, passionate, and halfway to melting Andrew's cold heart. And although Mina thought she knew exactly what she wanted, one breathtakingly seductive kiss from Andrew changes everything. Now Mina must decide between long-held dreams and dangerous new desires. Could her true destiny lie in the arms of a duke? So, can't wait for that one. Sounds so good. And lastly, I picked up a book that I've already read, but it's by a favorite author. And I hardly ever see her at used bookstores, and that one is The Wolf and the Wildflower by Stacy Reid. I just love this one. It's a standalone by her. So this one follows the Duke of Wolverton, and he went missing several years ago in the Yukon wilderness. He eventually is found and brought back to society, and his mother is trying to make sure everything is good with him, so that nobody deems him unfit to be a duke, because he's been alone in the wilderness just surviving this whole time. In comes the psychologist Jules Southby, and she is actually disguised as a man, and she has been her entire life because of a lie that her mother told her father. So she has been living as a man her entire life, but the Duke takes one little sniff of her and he's like, that is no man. And it goes from there. So this one is definitely a good, unique one by Stacy Reid. I just love her books. So check it out if you haven't already. And last are just some gifts that were sent to me. The first one was sent to me by Crystal over at Books Forever After, and it was just a thank you for being a host in the Ever After-a-thon. This is the second year I've done the Ever After-a-thon, and I've just had so much fun. So I just really enjoy it. And thank you, Crystal, so much for, inviting me to do it. But anyways, she ended up getting me off my wish list, The Rebel King by Kennedy Ryan. This is the second book in the Kingmaker series by Kennedy Ryan, so I don't know too much about it, but I know it follows the same couple, and I don't want to know much more than that. All the rest are for my birthday from B over at Mama Needs to Read Romance. You were so kind and sent me 3. I can't believe it. Thank you so much. And the first one she sent me is When the Scoundrel Sins by Anna Harrington. And that is because we both loved If the Duke Demands, and we want to continue on in the series. And I believe this is the second one. I'm pretty sure it is. Yes. And this is part of the Capturing the Carlisle series. And again, we read the first one and now we want to continue on. So I can't wait to read some more Anna Harrington. And then the next one she got me off my wish list is Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. And again, I believe this is the second one in the When in Rome series. But this one says, a small town sweetheart and an emotionally unavailable bad boy try to find some common ground in this chemistry-filled romance. So that sounds amazing, and I've heard great things again about Sarah Adams and about this one in particular. And then lastly, she picked up The Duke's Dream by Giovanna Siniscalchi. I hope I pronounced that right. And this one is, I actually read as an ARC, or I'm almost finished with it as an ARC, and I just loved it, and I wanted it on my shelf because it's just lovely. This is about a very rigid duke and a ballerina, and it's their love story. It's a bit forbidden, and I love it so much. Like I said, I'm about 60 to 70% done with the e-arc, and I'm just loving it. It's so beautiful. But look at this. It's so pretty. So, I just had to have a trophy on my shelf. And I like supporting the author, so even if B didn't get this for my birthday, I would have picked it up anyway. So those are the books that I have received recently. Let me know in the comments below if you've read any or if you plan to read any. I'd love to hear from you. Also, if you just want to leave me an emoji and let me know that you are here, go ahead and leave me either a ballet slipper for The Duke's Dream by Giovanna Siniscalchi, or leave me a crown, because that's also on the front cover. So that's just it for me. Like and subscribe if you'd like to. Bye!